What is up, you guys? Sun-kissed Glitchiz here, coming at you with an all-new Dauntless video after a much-needed beach vacation. Been gone for a week or so, but we're back and ready to jump into that new content. When I got home, I was excited to see that I was invited to the current Dauntless test experimental server that's going on right now. And with that, we got some really cool stuff I wanted to go over. There is a bunch of big spoilers, especially the first few topics I want to go over in the video. So have this be your fair warning. If you don't want to learn anything about the new Radiant Behemoth and you want to save that until the actual content drops, then feel free to fast forward. I'll probably put timestamps down below. But that being said, let's jump right into the first thing, and that is the new Chronovore. If you guys watched my previous video, we got a few updates on the roadmap regarding the new Radiant Behemoth, but we didn't have any details on what it looked like. But in the test server, we did get a sneak peek. If you run over to the Behemoth Mastery page in your main menu and you go over along the line of Behemoths, sure enough, we do have a page currently for the new Radiant Behemoth, the Chronovore. It's this really cool manta ray looking behemoth. I'm really excited to fight it. It looks like it's going to be really cool. And if you remember the roadmap, it sounded like there's going to be some really cool timing mechanics with it. So it's going to be a pretty interesting fight. And as you'll see from some of the other clips in the test server footage, we do start getting those chrono stone drops, which if you remember from the roadmap video as well, are the little items that you collect in the hunting grounds to unlock the fight with the Chronovore. But yeah, really cool design. And I'm really excited to see what this new behemoth brings to the table. The other big spoiler is the new Radiant weapons. If you go over to the weapon masteries tabs, we don't have full images of what the weapons are going to look like, but we do get their little screenshot icons for them. So here it is. I'll throw it up on the screen. This is a quick sneak peek at the design for all of the new Radiant legendary weapons. Really cool, clean designs. And I'm really excited to try them out. But yeah, there's the sneak peek for those. We still don't know what the unique effect's going to be, but there's your little sneak peek at the design. The next thing before we even leave Ramsgate and head into the portals that I wanted to talk about is the new pulse cell that's coming to the game. It is a technique cell, and it's similar to Cunning in that it affects our critical strike chance and damage. Only with the pulse cell, it gives us a guaranteed critical hit on hit depending on the number of points we put into our build. Now at +6, it is every 5th hit, and at +1, it's on 10th hit. So you can see how you could combo this with bonds like the Hellion weapon, where you get that bonus blaze damage on hit. For swords, I believe it's every 8th hit. For hammers and axe, for example, it's every 5th hit. So if you time the attacks for the bond buff with the proc from the critical guaranteed critical hit with pulse, it has the potential to do some really big damage. Also, we get a 5, 10, or 15% critical damage buff if you have 4 or more with the pulse cell as well. So the potential for this is really, really high. And I'm excited to jump in and see what the maximum damage output that we can get is. And the next thing I wanted to go over, which kind of ties in with the pulse cell and could potentially have some really good synergy, is the new faction of the future and the drone that we're going to be getting. For those of you that don't know, it looks like we're going to have a few quests that we're going to have to jump into for this faction this time around. Only now we have to go to the middleman. You'll have a quest for you to start it and start getting the points you need to unlock the faction of the future mini tree. So you're going to be killing elder behemoths, which are the new behemoths that we have to go over. And I'll go over that in a minute. But within the faction of the future tree itself, just like the faction of the past tree, we have a left and right side. The left side is kind of like your utility side that helps make those elder behemoth fights a little bit easier. The unlocks give you things like additional movement speed. It reduces the damage that you take from the rotating shields that you'll see in a minute with the elder behemoths, as well as give you the potential to redirect some of that damage back to the behemoth if you damage the electrified shields that are rotating. So really cool support utility on the left side. But on the right side, and the side that I'm most excited about, is the faction of the future's drone mechanic that's going to be coming to the game. We get this cool little familiar, pyramid familiar that follows us around. And what it does is on hit on the behemoth, it gives stacks to your character. And after you reach max stats, the drone will do an AoE explosion and do damage to the behemoth. It will also have the chance to do an explosion if you get hit by the behemoth as well. It does reduce the stacks that you have, but as you can see from the clip, some of the perks that you can unlock will reduce the amount of stacks that you lose if you get hit, as well as reduce the amount of stacks needed to proc that AoE explosion. Some of the other crazy things that this drone can do is when it procs, it'll summon a molten orb to give you increased attack speed, as well as the potential for a random cascade buff. And as you see from the clip here, you start proccing this drone so frequently that I have like 15 molten orbs on the ground. So you can only imagine how if you have all of these perks unlocked, you could just be spamming molten orbs and cascade cells like crazy, pretty much removing the need for the cascade cell altogether. So you could run either parasitic or iceborne for survivability, and then just because your drone, get even more utility through cascade orbs that drop without even having to use a cascade cell. So really high potential for this drone. And I think for the really fast, like perfect run type fights with the behemoths, the drone is going to be the faction of choice that you're going to want to run with. The faction of the past will be good for longer behemoth fights where you're going to be dodging more. Both have their unique purposes and their benefits, but I'm really excited about the drone personally. But moving on to what the faction of the future tree is for is the new Elder Behemoth fights, and that is the next topic I want to cover. The Elder Behemoths, similar to the faction of the Path, the Primal Behemoths that we fought before, we had the 4 suppressor pillars that we had to deal with. Now with the Elder Behemoths, we have rotating shields that are electrified that spin around the behemoth randomly, blocking certain weak spots that you have to constantly be running around and rotating around to hit the behemoth without getting damaged by the electrified shields. You can damage the shields, you will take damage, but again, those perks in the tree can mitigate some of that. But it's a really cool mechanic, and it's going to add a unique flow to the movement and pacing around the fights. So I'm really excited to see what that brings in the full release. But last but not least, the only thing left to go over is the portals, which this whole test server revolved around. And unfortunately, it is bugged, but one cool thing that I did notice is we get a cool little warp animation when we load into these now. And again, these portals will be found in the higher level hunting grounds, and you have to farm the escalation bosses to get keys that you will then use to instantly teleport to those keystone behemoths within the hunting grounds. The fights are pretty much the same as usual. The only difference is we now have a damage meter because we are fighting them within the hunting grounds. So unlike escalations, if you don't kill the behemoth quickly enough or you die too many times and that damage meter, or the danger meter rather, hits 100%, the keystone behemoth will flee and you won't be able to get the kill. It'll just instantly teleport you out and bring you back to the hunting grounds. So that is the one downside. You got to be on top of your game a little bit more, but still a really cool mechanic, and it'll allow us to farm these keystone behemoths a lot quicker. But yeah, that being said, that's pretty much all there was to go over in the test server this time around. If you guys found this video informative, if you liked the new style that I'm doing with these update and news videos, I wanted to change the pace of these generic webcam over web page reading the notes one for one type of thing. I wanted to give it a little Glitchiz flair to it. So if you guys like this idea, then let me know down in the comments and we'll continue to run with it. I think it's a cool, unique little design that we're going with. But yeah, again, if you guys aren't already a member of the Glitch Gang, be sure to click those links down in the description. We have tons of Slayers that are always looking for new people to hunt with. Really great group of people. Hopefully we see you around. But yeah, hope you guys had a great day. Until the next one, we'll see you later. Bye. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Also, if you're looking to join a killer community of like-minded gamers, then be sure to click the link in the description and join the Glitch Gang Discord server. We continue to grow every day, and it's filled with all your favorite game discussion channels, as well as several LFG channels to help you find that perfect group for your next hunt or raid. Lastly, if you're new to the channel and want to keep up to date with all my future content, then consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. Hope you all had a great day, and I will catch you on the next one.